such an important role in telling the stories of the companies that are going to be getting listed. Similarly, we play a role of finding the right companies. So we are a company which look at companies like this. We are size agnostic, so it is not only SME issues, but we also do main board issues. But the thought is to have very high, evolving, empowering entrepreneurs is our thought. So about Zapfresh, आप लोग ने सब साउथ में देखा होगा, हैदराबाद, बैंगलोर एंड नाउ इवन इन मुंबई 10 साल पहले लेडीज लोग कोई भी ना दारू लेने नहीं जाती थी, राइट? बिकॉज वो लिविंग लिक्विड्स आया, उसके बाद अलग अलग ब्रांड्स आए. अब या तो आप रूट लेगर से लाते थे या आपको खुद लाना पड़ता था. उसी तरह आप 10 साल में देखोगे कि मीट शॉप में जाके कितने लेडीज जाके आज अपने घर की लेडीज जाके शॉपिंग कर सकती है, नहीं कर सकती है. सो वो पूरा अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड मार्केट. मैं आपको अगर बताऊं, इंडिया में आज के दिन 38 करोड़ अंडे रोज सुबह खाए जाते हैं, 13,700 टन चिकन रोज खाया जाता है, राइट? तो मार्केट तो इतना बड़ा है. इट इज लाइक 95% स्टिल ऑर्गेनाइज्ड एंड ये सिर्फ 5% ऑर्गेनाइज्ड हुआ है. उसमें DSM फ्रेश इज ऑल्सो अ प्ले. So it is the first D2C company in the food space getting, we are taking them through the listing route. We have also got some very good investors in the prior. So Manchanda ji will take you through the entire journey that way. But yes, the TAM is huge, and the reason why they are going, taking money is also very important. And the way the market can evolve is also very important. So over to you, sir, to present your company. Thank you.
I've done my MBA, BBA, regular education. I wanted to do something of my own, but since I come from a middle class background, there were a lot of limitations. So amongst those, I started working earlier with corporates to get the ground up and running, and then gradually I resonated more with entrepreneurship. So I worked with Amex, Frito-Lay, some of the best consumer brands. Started an education venture way back in 2009, sold it off to a US-based company in 2010, and worked for 4-5 years working with younger companies which are 0 to 1. So from ideation to execution has been my forte in that period. And last stint was with MobiKwik, where I was heading their strategic alliances and business. We played a huge instrumental role in taking that digital wallet throughout the e-commerce ecosystem. And during that time only, when the e-commerce and grocery ecosystem was bustling with, Pickbasket and Grofers, which is Blinkit today, Swiggy, all of these brands were setting and scaling, is where I found, during a conversation with the founder of Blinkit, the opportunity in the meat as a category, where they were facing a lot of challenges dealing with local, meat shops who were not very reliable to give them the standardized produce which an online new age customer was expecting. And that actually resonated with my experience as well, because when I had to buy, it's just a matter of time, somebody will come, disrupt, and really innovate the category. So we started our 2015 operation from NCR, and that's where very humble start, and we wanted to learn the supply chain of the business, which took us about 2 to 3 years, that realizing that we have to really not only work at the customer end but also at the supply chain end. So I'm going to take you through the presentation for further understanding and more clarity on what really is going on. So yeah, we are dealing in chicken, mutton, seafood, overall, large part of improvement in that. So the mission and the vision is that how can we provide you, a farm to fork produce which is not tinkered with. There is no chemicals, there is no preservatives, and it gives you the value for what you are paying, not for something which you are sometimes going for, let's say, organic produce, and then you still feel that there is not enough value in that. So finding that balance and also impacting the farmers at the back end is the vision, which is humongous. And 70 to 75% of the Indian population is non-vegetarian. Contrary to the belief that we are very vegetarian, it's not the case. And we are growing at about 8 to 10% on an annual basis. Even the per capita consumption is very low compared to US. You will see that in India we're just touching almost 6 kgs, but in US it's about 80 to 90 kgs. Tier 2 cities, itself now account for a lot of new progressive customer behavior which is kicking in. Packaged meat demand is also surging with 25% year on year. Lifestyle changes, protein deficiency, all of these are levers for growth and problems to be solved. Of course, expansion to digital platforms, access to the produce is a critical problem which we are solving. The USP for us is, I'm experienced, I've done a couple of startups, worked with startups, and people who are on the job are also supply chain efficient, subject matter experts from the trade of retail and grocery. The other part is that it's a very unique format on which we are working, which is true farm to fork model. And then the farms which we work with a lot of women farmers also, which does impact their livelihood incomes. So innovative farms from an infrastructure point of view, where we improve their entire processes, that how they can build a more antibiotic residual free produce, which is there is no preservatives, no growth hormones. So those are very unorganized areas where we have been able to kick in and help really the farmers. Quality assurance is at the heart of the strategy, because throughout what the customer is looking for value, we're not a premiumized category, we're not trying to premiumize the product, we're just trying to simplify the product. That if you're getting let's say 200 rupees chicken in your local store, will probably 15 to 20% higher, but that value will be really delivered, which you will really feel that okay, this much we can pay premium. But when you try to premiumize it further, it just goes a little off. So which is where the pricing strategies is matching the quality which we are delivering. Slaughterhouses has been a real challenge. As I said, that most of these slaughterhouses have been focusing on international markets, so paying them, incentivizing them to give us what we want for domestic market has been a good push which we have been able to create. Cold chain supply chains without any preservatives or chemicals, and the temperature control is one part of it. Product, as you can see, some of these packaging which we have, this has been the packaging since I think 7-8 years now. We've not changed it. It's very simple. We wanted to just create a clean white pack. Generally you'll see black polythenes which people are carrying, so white is a color which shows neat, so that's why we've used it. We're looking at chicken, mutton, fish, seafood, cold cuts, ready to cook, ready to eat, and some very few frozen items, not much. Overall 100 plus SKUs which are there. Now, a large, significant part of our business comes from Horeca also, where we supply to hotels and restaurants. These are some of the clients who we are working with. We have Tips, Frankie, Hyperpure, Zepto, and there are about 300 plus customers in the Horeca B2B segment who we work with. The revenue split amongst three categories is about 55% chicken, 21% mutton, and 24% fish and seafood, which we are going to focus further to. In some shops only doing mutton, we wanted to give that entire basket to the customer who doesn't have to go anywhere if it comes to meats. Cold chain wise, right from the processing to the customer doorstep, there is it's a milk van type of a distribution which we are developing and have developed, which ensures that there is no breakage in the cold chain, and traditional meat shops don't really have any cold chain. That is where the problem is. The bacteria multiplication starts after 15 minutes if the meat is outside. So whatever you see hanging on the shops is actually temperature abused product. It doesn't harm us Indians because we are cooking it at so high temperatures. So all the germs and bacteria really go away. That's the only reason we are safe. Then it comes to certified standards.
We will be opening for the anchors on the 25th. To the public, it will be opening from the 26th, and the listing will happen around on the 4th. The issue size is of around 59.6 crores. So 59,06,400 shares are being issued. 30 crore का QIB है, उसमें 18 crore का anchor है. So that is there. Post issue, the holding of the promoters will come down to about 28, but we'll work around that. Next slide, please. Writer, KRA and company are the statutory auditors, Alacrity is the market maker, and Branding Edge is the branding partner. Thank you. We can take questions now.
Will you elaborate on your quality and the packing was also nice?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. So this is the box. In this, there's a vacuum pack that goes inside, and because of the vacuum, the freshness is intact for a slightly longer period. And on the quality bit, other than cold chain, the industry really needs support in the ecosystem, which is missing. And we are working also with government on different ideas and initiatives where we can look at improving the quality feed which is provided to the chicken, the support at the farm, which means providing a veterinarian doctor on a frequently basis to avoid any outbreak of diseases. Then we have these processing units where we are also giving them security and advance so that they can use that capital to improve and work with us as per our expectations. So there's a SOP which is given to both the sides of the partners. They follow that and they give us the desired quality, which is where we are adding very different nitty-gritties which are there on the product quality, including the type of the feed or the infrastructure, the type of machinery required, or there could be any other hygiene factor which is missing, like biohazard controls at the farm. Those are not something which is very natural to the farmers. So when we come, we bring that sophistication and improvement which delivers quality as per what we want. I think this is very, very critical. The other bit is the cold chain, where you keep the product under a temperature, and that's about it. You don't really have to do much other than, I think, this rest. Otherwise, you can exceed more on quality and make it more superior and premium. But our focus is value, so we want to cater to the Bharat rather than the premium segment. So you have to manage your quality and price parity together.
क्वालिटी करने में टाइम लगता है, इसीलिए हम 3 ही जगह है अभी, एक साथ पूरा ऑल इंडिया नहीं जा सकते हैं, क्योंकि क्वालिटी आपको कंट्रोल करने में, प्रोसेस डालने में टाइम लगता है। तो इन्होंने पहले दिल्ली में 10 साल काम किया है पूरा, वहाँ पर पूरा इकोसिस्टम समझ लिया, उसको रेप्लिकेट अब हम ऑलरेडी महाराष्ट्र में कर चुके हैं, बैंगलोर में कर चुके हैं। अब ये जो पैसे आएंगे उससे और नए जगह पे अपने कर लेंगे।
Yes, very nice.
Absolutely. See, the good thing is that the government wants to do it, but that private-public partnership is where, if you are able to align, then you see a good project. So we are hoping that we will work with different governments to, improve the state of affairs and participate in some different, beneficiary schemes for the sector. Could be direct or indirect. So those are real possibilities which we are working upon.
Thank you. And comment.
70-80% of people are protein deficient, so there is a great need to improve the per capita consumption of meat, which will improve the health also.
जैसे आपने बताया चिकन और फिश और दूसरे मीट्स भी हैं क्या?
नहीं, हमारे पास सिर्फ चिकन, मटन, फिश ही है, इसके अलावा हम और कुछ नहीं करते। स्लॉटरिंग भी अपनी है। हम एक्चुअली इम्पैक्ट सेक्टर से आ रहे हैं और लीनर एक सप्लाई चेन बना रहे हैं, जहाँ पे अगर हम वो ओन करने लग जाएंगे तो हम फिर एक्सपोर्ट वाला बिजनेस बन जाएंगे, B2B बिजनेस बन जाएंगे। बट हमको SME की प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करनी है, तो वहीं से हम एक प्रोडक्ट उसी कस्टमर को देना चाह रहे हैं जो लार्ज साइज ऑफ मार्केट है, और गोदरेज सिर्फ चिकन करता है, हम बास्केट दे रहे हैं।
So I want to know more about this, like
What is the expiry date?
If you keep it in refrigerator.
So my question is, like, you've been outsourcing slaughterhouse as well. Can you tell me more about, like, from starting from farmer till the package, the process of it?
So as I said, it's very simple that farmers give us the chicken, live chicken. That live chicken goes to a slaughterhouse, get it slaughtered there, and then it comes to our second level processing, which is largely grading, sorting, packaging, or storage, and then from here it goes to the customer end. So we come in the second level. The first level is slaughterhouse, and the source is the farmer from whom we are buying the live chicken.
So, but farmers, what quantity they must be giving? Because they have a small quantity, like
Yeah,
inside
we
a backyard they do this. So, what is the quantity?
That's a
wise?
different initiative. So that's a CSR initiative, which is partnered with Heifer Impact. That is for country chicken, which we are developing. But for this particular main place strategy, it's regular farmers without any specific on the women part of it or male part of it, and that's a proper industry-led practice which they are running. There are farmers at every capacity. There are farmers who have 10,000 birds, 50,000 birds. So like that, enough of the farming is happening in the outskirts, which you are able to easily find. So we don't find challenge there. I think the processing, which is the slaughtering part, is more critical, infra heavy, is where we feel that we have to have more of such partners in moving forward. But farmer level, we haven't seen much challenges.
So, when it comes to rate wise, because already the big players are there in the market, Venky's is there for you, Al Kabir is there, then Godrej is there. How you compete with those big fishes?
So, as I said that Venky's and all is only chicken, and we are focusing on the entire basket. We are not putting our reliance only on chicken. The behavior of customer is such where chicken ends up adding more to the consumption, but there are conscious efforts which are going to come to improve fish and seafood as a category and be at least equal with chicken. So that way you get a basket. So this is, I think, variety and standardization. There are two parts which are not there with traditional players who've been in the industry, which actually is super critical. And variety with quality control. Like if you buy from a marketplace, there the challenge is that they're not doing quality control to that level. So with us, we are able to do that and provide a more standardized experience throughout. That's very critical.
So, and of a bird, there are what kind of this chicken is like? There are different parts of chicken we used. So it's a whole chicken or it's a part chicken?
Whole and part both. We do both.
ऑपरेशनली इतना प्रॉफिटेबल है, मतलब उसका बर्ड का फीड भी कहाँ बेचता है वो हमको पता है, तो बेचने के कारण यहाँ पर प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी बेटर आता है.
And what about the fish then?
Where do you get?
Fish, so there are different sourcing spots in the country for everything. कहीं पे ज़्यादा कुछ farming होती है किसी चीज़ की, तो fish we are currently dependent on तेलंगाना. So वहाँ से we get it from the ocean fishes. So like that there are different spots, different circuits from where the purchase happens of chicken, mutton, fish, everything.
So there will be limitation of fish then. If you're getting from Telangana, you say in India there are different ports, different things. So there are different fishes.
But the shelf life of fish is higher. So that changes the game.
That you mean to say depend on cold storage?
If you keep the cold chain correct in fish and seafood, it will be approximately 10 to 15 years.
Thank you.
साथ भी काम है, तो हम फ्रीज भी करते हैं प्रोडक्ट. जो रेस्टोरेंट्स को जाता है वो फ्रीज हो जाता है, वो ले लेते हैं फ्रोजन प्रोडक्ट, क्योंकि उनको लंबा टाइम से स्टॉक करना होता है. तो हमारा जो डायरेक्ट कस्टमर को जाता है वो तो 24 आवर वाला ही जाता है. सेकेंड डे पे हम उसको फिर रेस्टोरेंट पे बेच देते हैं, क्योंकि 3 दिन देखा तो सेल्फ लाइफ है ही, तो अब उसको वो फ्रेश में बेचे या फ्रोजन में बेचे वो उसके ऊपर.
But don't you think it's a very lengthy process, the selling, taking back, giving to restaurant, and again it
That's why it
depends.
has taken us 10 years to do just 130 crores. We could have done far more if the process was short. It is lengthy. That is the entry barrier also.
2015 में आपने स्टार्ट किया था एजुकेट, तो almost 10 years. Tell us about the journey of Deepanshu और किन चीज़ों में डील करती है और अभी क्या कुछ आपका आगे का टारगेट है?
देखिए, हम स्टार्टिंग हमने जब किया था तो उस टाइम पे वी वर द फर्स्ट D2C ब्रांड. कोई था नहीं D2C में उस टाइम पे, तो हमने वो एक रेवोल्यूशन शुरू किया है. मेरे हिसाब से एक नया इनिशिएटिव था जो कि स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन में बिलीव करता था. उसके बाद बहुत सारे ब्रांड्स भी आए, तो जर्नी तो काफ़ी अप्स एंड डाउन्स के साथ रही है, जिसमें मार्केट बिहेवियर, कस्टमर सेंटिमेंट, हर एक चीज़ के अंदर हमने ड्रास्टिक इम्प्रूवमेंट देखा है एंड आई थिंक उसने फ्यूल किया है ग्रोथ हमारा, जहाँ पे कस्टमर का एक्सपेक्टेशन और प्रोपेंसिटी टू पे बढ़ गया है, जिसके कारण ब्रांड्स लाइक ज़ैफ्रेश एंड लॉट ऑफ अदर ब्रांड्स आर ऑल्सो देयर. So overall, I would say that the journey has been more of a learning, where the idea has been कि that वो जितना सिंपल लगता है उतना है नहीं, कि सप्लाई चेन पे हमने बहुत मेहनत करी है और उसी के कारण आई थिंक हम एफिशिएंट एक बिजनेस बना पाए हैं आज की डेट में.
There are very few players in this market. So what makes the fresh different and unique?
से देखिए, मार्केट बहुत बड़ा है, ठीक है. 3 लाख करोड़ का साल का डोमेस्टिक कंजम्पशन है, उसमें हमारा भी कंट्रीब्यूशन हाइटली 0.1% होगा, और जो दूसरे भी प्लेयर्स हैं उनके साथ भी ऐसा है कि वो भी बड़े हैं, बट लेकिन मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अपॉर्चुनिटी बहुत लार्ज है और इसमें सारे लोग एक कोलैबोरेटिव एफर्ट्स के साथ इंडस्ट्री इम्प्रूव कर रहे हैं. वो एक बहुत बड़ा अपॉर्चुनिटी और एक इनिशिएटिव एक पॉजिटिव लेवल पे चलता है रादर देन कंपीटिंग विद ईच अदर.
आपने कुछ की मार्केट्स बताए जहाँ पे आपने ग्रोथ की है, और कौन कौन से और मार्केट्स में आप एक्सप्लोर करना चाहते हैं?
देखिए, हमारा साउथ में बहुत इंटरेस्ट है, क्योंकि 95% ऑफ मीट पॉपुलेशन जो सबसे ज़्यादा खाती है पॉपुलेशन, वो साउथ में ही है. और आने वाले टाइम में हम थोड़ा और पेनिट्रेट करेंगे कर्नाटका में, नियर बाय मार्केट्स में, बट लार्जली द फोकस इज कि जो अभी हम एग्जिस्टिंग मार्केट्स में है उसमें डेप्थ क्रिएट करें, क्योंकि पॉपुलेशन और साइज और कंजम्पशन का तो कोई प्रॉब्लम है नहीं इंडस्ट्री में. तो जंपिंग मार्केट्स इज समथिंग विच वी आर वेरी कॉशियस अबाउट, क्योंकि सप्लाई चेन भी बनाना होता है, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन भी बनाना है. तो एक बहुत ही ज़्यादा ऑपरेशनली हैवी कैटेगरी को सिंप्लीफाइड तरीके से बनाने में एक मेरे ख्याल से टाइम लगता है, वो हमने लगाया है, और अब डेप्थ में बनाने में ज़्यादा फोकस है.
क्वालिटी एंड प्राइसिंग के बारे में क्या है?
क्वालिटी प्राइसिंग में देखिए, लोकल जो मीट शॉप है उससे तो हम थोड़ा ऊपर है प्राइस, अबाउट 15 से 20% के आसपास, बट लेकिन कस्टमर खुशी खुशी उतना प्रीमियम देने के लिए तैयार है, क्योंकि उसको वेल पैकेज्ड, टेम्परेचर कंट्रोल और फिर वैल्यू भी मिलती है कि भाई आप अगर एक पोर्शन कुछ एडिशनल भी दे रहे हैं तो उसमें आपको रिटर्न क्या मिल रहा है, वो बहुत क्रिटिकल है. तो जनरली वो मिसिंग रहता है विद लोकल मीट ऑपरेटर्स. तो हमें ऐसा लगता है कि जितना हम वैल्यू दे रहे हैं उस हिसाब से हम प्राइस ले रहे हैं. ये मैच करने में भी बहुत टाइम लगा है हमारे को, तो ये एक हमारा स्ट्रेंथ है.
लास्टली आने वाले 5 सालों में क्या एक्सपेक्ट करें? बिकॉज
See, the next is to become a very diversified business, जहाँ पे हमारा ऑफलाइन में भी एक प्रेजेंस जो है वो स्ट्रेंथन करने का हमारा प्लान है, और टेक्नोलॉजी ओरिएंटेशन, improving the ecosystem in the SME space, impact to the farmers. लार्जली जो अभी हम कर रहे हैं उसको आप एडिशनल 5x 6x लगा सकते हैं, जहाँ पे हम ग्रोथ एंटिसिपेट करेंगे. और मार्केट कोई प्रॉब्लम, साइज कोई प्रॉब्लम है नहीं. इट इज़ जस्ट अबाउट योर बिजनेस स्ट्रैटेजी, हाउ यू आर एबल टू स्केल इट. नहीं, आई थिंक हमारे सेक्टर में थोड़ा सा टैबू है, थोड़ा सुपरस्टिशन है. खाते सब हैं, बात किसी को नहीं करनी है. तो वो एक मेरे ख्याल से एंगल है जो हमें थोड़ा सा अवॉइड करना चाहिए, जिससे इंडस्ट्री को और जितने भी छोटे प्लेयर्स हैं उन्हें थोड़ा सा प्रोत्साहन मिले और वो आगे बढ़ के ऑर्गेनाइज करें रादर देन कि उसको गंदा रखें.